other connection. In my book, I write about the first time I met Tony Bennett singing 1958 in a famous Brooklyn nightclub.
But you were just a child. How could you get into a
Well, I'm an old man.
When did your parents work with Tony Bennett? Do you know the year? Was it 50s or 60s?
Okay, no, 50s and 60s, please. Someplace probably in the 60s. Probably in the 60s, early 60s, because I think that's when Mom met her.
Okay.
So Tony came over to our table, and I was just married then, so I remember it because he sang "Because of You" and these romantic songs, and he just recently passed away.
96.
Right.
You know?
Well, thank you for telling us that,
Thank you for
and thank you for making the connection.
So tell us about Tony.
Well, my mom met him, and as I said, her husband, I call her her husband because I did not grow up with him. I was 19 or so when they met, and he was his, what they call a manager, which means he was a gopher.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't was a manager.
But he was
His
very
son
proud of
ended up
that.
managing his career. But at any time that Tony was in town performing, Mom and Harold got comps and could go and went backstage to see him. In fact, I posted a picture on my Facebook page right after that, with the three of them doing a toast with a glass of champagne.
But the thing that brought them together, I think, originally was Tony Bennett and Mom Harold, your mom and Harold, was the fact that Helene's mother's brother
Oh, right.
wrote one of the great songs of all time.
Tenderly.
Tenderly, and Tony Bennett sang it, did hundreds of other people. And
Thank you.
in fact, when we moved here, I also said that that's how we were able to buy this house.
That's right.
The royalties on Tenderly after her mom passed away, the royalties on her.
So Helen, excuse me, where'd you go?
Helene.
Helene, I'm sorry.
That's better.
I'm right on my mind. Where'd you go to high school?
Hunter College High School,
Hunter College High School.
right?
Did you grow up in the Bronx?
I grew up in Manhattan, 89th and Broadway,
Wow.
and right, that's right.
What street again?
89, West 89th Street. I will be.
I was in Brooklyn, but my first teaching job was 93rd and Broadway. Joan of Arc Junior High School.
That was in Columbus, between Columbus and Amsterdam. Yeah, my
Yes.
sister went there.
Yes, and Leonard, where'd you go to high school?
I was salutatorian at Roslyn High School.
Where?
Roslyn High School.
Roslyn? Oh, up north, okay.
And I officially lived in Roslyn until we bought the house in 1999 here. Since my parents moved to Roslyn in '54, and they were there until 2011 when they moved to the Amsterdam and Harborside in Washington. And my mother passed away in 2015, my father in 2020. And we've done many, well, this is actually their centenary year, along with Martha Schlama. We did a concert on my mother's 100th birthday, March 1st. That was the first of the, or second of the Schlama concert. And then we did a Gilbert and Sullivan sing at our house with the Gasolopoli, the Gilbert and Sullivan Long Island Light Opera Company in Long Island. David Aubrey was here just a moment ago. He's been in my Metropolitan Philharmonic Chorus and in Gilbert and Sullivan. And we did a Gilbert and Sullivan sing, a 5-hour Gilbert and Sullivan sing on May 26th in memory of my father, who was a great Gilbert and Sullivan fan. And that's actually on YouTube. We put 25 videos up of that. And this will also be on YouTube.
What's the YouTube channel's name?
Well, it's in my name.
Leonard Lerman.
Yeah.
Jay Lerman?
But YouTube doesn't organize these things very well. We encourage people to go to my website where it's better organized, and you can find that at tinyurl.com/LJL videos. That will take you there.
Perfect. So where are you performing next?
Well, we're performing at Court Street Music on August 20th. Actually, it's going to be a composite of pre-recorded things. And then after that, we have a concert at the People's Voice Cafe in Judson Memorial Church Assembly Hall. on September 23rd, commemorating Martha Schlammer's 100th birthday. I first heard her in 1961 when she was singing at Town Hall. This is actually a picture of her at Town Hall around that time. Yeah. And I heard her in 61, and then in 1981, I had written an opera, an anti-war feminist comic opera that was done in Hamburg, Germany, in military theater. It was written up in Jewish parents. She was a lifelong subscriber to Jewish parents, and she called my parents and said, I want to speak with Leonard Lehman. This is Martha Schlammer. I would like to speak with her about his opera. And I said, Martha, you are you're one of my idols. I remember your 1961 concert, and I proceeded to tell her all the details of that concert. She was astounded. I remember exactly everything she did. And so we became very, very close friends. And I drove with her to New Jersey and for an opera, a piece of mine that we premiered, and she called me as a consultant for her Bernstein Blitz Band. They called it the Bern Blitz. And I was so upset when she died just before I came back from Europe. I was at the 70th. And she died. She passed out on stage after singing.
I'm easily assimilated.
She went into a coma and for 2 months and then died out in October of '85, just before I came back. So, but we've been thinking all these years that we would do something for her, and this is the year. It's been a parents' centennial, it's her centennial. Well, she lied about her age. She said she was 25, but we know she's 25.
I lied about my age. I think one of the interesting things about singing songs that have real poetry behind them, and not just lyrics, is that there's a lot of hidden meaning there someplace. We're not even just so hidden. When I was working on Misplaced Memories, I'm thinking, okay, what is this thing I can't remember? Of course, I couldn't think of it, but I loved it, especially the place where you wrote that their disorder makes me cry. That especially the older you get, the more disordered your memory is. And, you know.
Well, what I liked about the form of your poem was I did not throw them out.
Yeah,
It kept coming back.
Yeah.
I did not throw them out. And each time she sings the same rhythm and the same melodic curve, but the last note is higher each time. There's more and more tension. I did not throw them out. Yeah.
And the other poem, Love Is Not All, one of the most heartrending pieces. Joel Mandelbaum told us the story behind it was St. Vincent Millay and her lover, that the family was trying to keep him away from her. And so she was really, really dying for lack of love. And the thing about this poem, it's a sonnet, sort of. If you have the two quatrains, and then it's got another quatrain and the two lines that end it. But it's the 6 lines at the end sort of run into each other as an ending. And it begins with, it may well be. And Joel said it may well be, which is the same pattern, the same notes as the beginning of the piece. And then it goes on and it builds and gets more and more wrought and more fraught and more passionate. And then all of these things I could do without food, I could do without drink, I could do without warmth, I could drown, but I would not give up.
It may well be is the
It
climax.
may well be, but it isn't. It is not. And thank you all for coming. I'm exhausted.
Thank you for watching, and we'll get the recording up of it so you can watch later.
And I have a connection as well. I thank you for doing that
What's
Aaron
your
Copeland piece, Ann Cohen at the end. I was in the Ukrainian School of Music at SUNY Potsdam back in the 1970s, and I had the privilege of participating in a concert conducted by Aaron Copeland himself. And
he
of
did that
course,
piece?
he did that piece.
Yeah, I met him in Tanglewood when he was flown in to conduct at Appalachian Spring because Leonard Bernstein had a mild heart problem. He was only going to do the Tchaikovsky Fifth Symphony. And you?
I have more to tell because I was once married to Michael Spearman, and we organized the Bronx Opera Company, and the Bronx Opera Company did Copeland's Tender Land in the
We did that.
Centennial.
You did?
The bicentennial year, and he came over to the house for dinner. And he said, my turkey was as good as the Harvard Club. Laughing
She
about it.
dies on that, out on it.
Gotta die, not every year.
Okay, well, thank you all, it's been a wonderful audience.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
And thanks for braving the, not the weather, but the
Hard
construction. You all had to walk several blocks. And we appreciate it.
Never spread the word about the next one, too. So on the 20th, right? Is
It's the 20th.
They're live streaming on the 20th, which we are.
We'll be zooming.
So we are, yeah.
So how do they check into that?
Well, do you have their email addresses? If you give
we will-
Billy your email
Yeah,
addresses,
if-
then we'll send you a Zoom invitation.
That works too. Yeah, other than that, check our website, we'll probably have it, and check our Facebook too.
Your
Yes.
name and your
Yes.
email.
Yeah, Zoom is different from live streaming, because live streaming, anybody can go on, and we don't
Yeah.
see that.
This is via Zoom.
Zoom, we see everybody, they see us,
Yeah.
and they can't come in the.
Yes, and I'll be sitting here a lot, so you have.
Yeah, we thought of it.
Well, thanks so much for being part of this.
Oh,
Lee, let's get a picture of.
Oh, yes, we should.
We went to high school, yes, to school together. With Karen.
Do you want to take a picture?
Oh,
Where's your
yes.
copy?
Oh, my copy.
I
Yeah,
took-
Carol
I
wanted
I
to
took a bunch of pictures during the performance too,
Good, good.
so I have those.
Oh, yeah.
She should be in the middle.
She should be in the middle? Well, it looks better. Anyway.
What?
Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So,
And you'll send that to us, yeah?
yeah, I'll send you everything. I took a bunch during the performance.
Oh, were you smiling or talking?
Dan, you want to?
Yes.
Please be part of this.
Okay, so.
Oh, yeah, why don't we have a nice picture of the trio?
Yeah, maybe.
But I have to be in the middle because I'm
That's
short.
right, that's right.
Otherwise, it's.
Watch your feet, is that wires on the end.
Oh, I like this.
Ready? Look at me. First, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2.
Okay. Because Carol's always asking, do you have pictures? Do you have pictures?
Oh, I took pictures of the last stuff.
Yeah, I told her that, so I didn't have any pictures.
Well, I would really love to.
They're on
I sent her
Facebook.
one
Yeah.
of the Lego.
Yeah. Yeah. I put last week's on Facebook.
I know what you
A
mean.
lot of things were good.
Thank you for coming.
I'm gonna say goodbye. Goodbye.
Yeah, Joe.
Goodbye, everybody. Oh, end stream.
Oh, that's why Joe was-
Stream.
That makes sense.
Down by the old end stream.
Yeah.
Okay.